I'm using this Marine Coat 1 gel coat. I've used it before, it works really well. Comes with this here catalyst. You've got to measure the right amount of this with the right amount of that. Comes with a couple extra colors. We're not going to be using any colors, we're just using white. So this board's been in the boat for a while and I've been stepping on it and it's got some crud on it and footprints and stuff, so I'm going to sand that first. Alright, I went ahead and sanded both boards just so it'd be easier to apply the gel coat. Hopefully it sticks down and much better. Obviously these are all covered in sawdust now, so I've got to spray them with the air hose, wipe them down. The instructions for the Marine Coat 1 gel coat is going to be 32 ounces of gel coat to 14 milliliters of this stuff. So I borrowed this from the baby and we're gonna get 14 milliliters out of this somehow. Alright, y'all don't make fun of me, but I can't find the little drill spinner for my drill, so I'm using my wrench for my chainsaw. And then I think this part's gonna be genius. I hope that works out. Alright, so my little makeshift spinner worked out pretty good. It didn't really like create the vortex and suck it down, but I just made sure to move the drill up and down. Alright, these Ace paint buckets are great because they've actually got the quartz written on the side, so I'm just going to fill this one up to here. If you were in a pinch and don't have one of these buckets, you could always just use a plastic Mardi Gras cup. That's a 16-ounce cup. Get the mix in. There's my mixer. Oh yeah, I'm feeling confident. It's gonna work out. Just fine. Alright, so what I've done so far is put clear coat. I put about 3 coats all over the edges of these boards, so that way it kind of seeps into the pores of that wood. And now we're going to cover the edges with this gel here. Alright, I think that's pretty mixed up. We're going to be rolling it on. Here we go. Rooster always wants to make the video. This is like October 22. Obviously you can see I'm in short sleeves. It's like 75-degree weather. Beautiful. Louisiana October. Pretty awesome. Although we haven't had rain in like 2 months. It's the strangest thing. Alright, I'm gonna stop dilly-dallying. I guess it'd be great if we could do this in one coat. I don't know. I'll probably do one coat, install it, and then do a touch-up coat once it's in the boat. So they have knots like this, and I'm gonna go ahead and just fill it with gel coat. I will be putting body filler on top of that, but this is gonna make it waterproof in the meanwhile, in case we have a thunderstorm. And now I'm done. Alright, I'm really glad I did this on 2 sawhorses to make a table, because this is super easy and convenient. Alright, it's starting to get really tacky. I'm gonna try and flip it. Or no, I know what to do. I can go underneath it. I've got one more piece over here. All right, time for me to go get cleaned up. I should obviously be wearing gloves before I start this sort of stuff. All right, a couple of things I decided while I'm waiting for this stuff to dry is I need to take the hardware off of here and replace the board that runs down here. It's rotten, and if that's replaced, this is going to be a lot more sturdy. It's actually in pretty good shape. And then this rubber is not in good shape. And I think I'm going to replace it. It's actually green, and I'm going to replace it and get a black one to go all the way around. So I'm going to start to remove that. So as you can see, there should be a rope in between all the way around, and even if you pressure wash this, you can see it's just not going to be looking good. So I'm going to go ahead and get a Phillips bit, it looks like, up in here, and work my way around and take that off completely on the whole boat. So that's going to be a project. Working with little Phillips bits, that's great. The other idea behind doing that is I'm painting white here and white on top, so when that rail is removed, I can just go from here to here and paint the entire section white. If you take a look here, there's all these stress fractures in this fiberglass, and I'm gonna sand this a little bit, or at least hit it with a wire wheel, and make sure that if any parts are gonna flake up, I get them up, and then I'll fill them. But anyway, before I did that, I wanted to at least see what gel coat would do. And you can see here, this is 2 coats of gel coat over these cracks without sanding. This is without cleaning or sanding. I just put 2 coats right here real quick, and you can tell it's already covered those cracks. So I'm definitely hopeful that with actually a little TLC, when I sand and clean and make this a little bit nicer, it's all going to come out even better than what this was. And if you're wondering why did I do this, because I'm just going to sand this off anyway, but I at least wanted to see how 2 coats of gel coat would do over those cracks. Pull it hard.
I'm doing pulling it hard.
You're doing it. Want to help?
Yeah, how?
Okay, you pull it. Pull it. There it goes.
And I'm gonna pull it.
So all the bolts that have been coming out of this thing have been stainless, so if the kit that we buy doesn't have stainless, we'll have some of those bolts to go all the way around. It's looking pretty dirty and disgusting on here, so it'd be nice to get this all pressure washed. this one, bro.
I know how to use the big one.
Oh, so close. Alright, we got like 5 more. That's it, baby. Alright, that took forever. That was like 10,000 screws. Every 6 inches they had a screw. So that was like an hour or so. It was at least an hour. Some of them would come straight out, and then I guess where some hit the dock at some point during this boat's life, they would bend the screw, and they were a pain in the butt to come out. But there we go. We're gonna buy some nice black, brand new. As you can see, we've got the bottom side completely gel coated. The edges came out really nice. Down in here, we've got all this clear coated. I'm gonna actually replace this cheap connection here because I actually cut the wire here anyway. So I'm gonna put on one nice long wire all the way to the inside of the console. When this drops in place, you can see this is the underside, which I didn't get much paint on. So we're definitely gonna put a thick coat of gel coat down on there. If you're thinking, well, that's not gonna do it, that's not gonna seal it up, well, just wait a second, we're not done. We're going to seal all the cracks with filler, so it's meant for filling large gaps. So just hold tight there. I'm going to try and get this floor sealed up for the most part today. It is fall now, and the leaves are starting to fall. If you do a lot of wiring, I highly recommend these bad boys. I don't know what brand they are, but they're awesome. The only time they don't work is if you don't have enough room to work with, because this needs room to open up wide like that. So you've got to have at least probably 2 inches of wire to work with. So in really small situations, that would not be ideal. Alright, get rid of this old junk. I love getting rid of old junk wires. Such a good feeling. So to start these, I like to line up my copper wire right in the center of the solder wire, and then heat the end, give it a little twist, and so it stays in place. So now I'm going to come back with this wire. Alright, like 10 minutes later, I've got those soldered up and ready to roll. And we're going to run those under here. Alright, about to clean it up a little bit, get these things screwed down. Alright, so I'm going to make sure I take note of where each stud is, so I can have a nice solid spot to put each one of these little screws. Alright, so the floor joist under here splits the difference between these two boards. So I put each of these screws in a little bit of an angle and make sure I catch that board. Hopefully I did a good job, we'll see. Don't ask me while I'm tacking up this paint job with my shoes on, but I guess I've got another coat of paint coming, so oh well. Alright, boys and girls, I'm super excited because it's insanely sturdy. Voila. Super sturdy. Nothing's going nowhere over here. Yeah, up and down all you want. I'm very happy about it. It's not pretty yet, but give us some manner. Now that the old rail's off, it's time to get her cleaned up again. Started messing around with the pressure washer, and it's going to be a huge difference.